Hi everyone, welcome to another interview with our lifetime member. Today I'm here with the Grady Man, and he's been with us for a year now, and recently he got funded. So I'm excited to hear from him how his journey was with us as a member. But before we will start, I would like to introduce Forex League and show you what we are offering so you will understand what we are talking about. So you can see this is our website where you can find all our social media links. I would suggest you to join us and follow us so you know all the updates, especially see the YouTube channel where you can see all the videos about services we are offering. This is our prop firm that allows us to add free funding to the membership. And this is the full-time course that you will have access to when you will sign up. So you can see what it includes. It's trade copier, signal service, 4-week course. Then we have a psychology training, intraday strategy. So you have 2 strategies included, and the free funding for the members here, plus the discount for any other challenge if you want to purchase. Inside, you will see the steps, what to do in order to participate in a free challenge. Basically, you will sign up and you will get the dashboard, which is live, and you will see the results instantly. Nick, this is one of the founders. He is a mentor of our members, so every member can schedule a call with him one-on-ones. Besides that, we are having webinars with our members, which is twice a week, where we can discuss all the struggles, experience, psychology, risk management, anything they need to talk about. Let's go ahead and start with the interview. So how are you? Why did you sign up with us? Tell us something
Yeah,
about
I'm
you.
good. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
My name's Creddy Man, 28 on Discord. I've been with Forex League for about a year now. I first found them on YouTube. I'd already been investing in stocks and stuff like that. I just picked up Forex September of 2020, I think it was, and I'd taken a course elsewhere there, and it was good for foundation and whatnot. But I felt like I needed a little bit more, and I ended up taking a second course in another place. And I realized that a lot of the courses are out there and available, but there's not a person that you can actually get to, like, an important person, a decision maker that you can get
Right.
to really talk to when you need to.
Mentor.
Yeah, and a lot of them, when they are available, they're not really open to what you're working on. They're focused on their strategy only. So if you're not trading it their way, they don't really offer any insight to you. So I was watching videos, as I always do, because I've watched probably thousands of Forex trading videos over the
Right.
time, just like everybody else that
Beginning.
started trading. I came across Forex League because they were doing weekly sessions. So, like I said, the other courses I had, there were people were extremely knowledgeable, but they weren't accessible. So I wanted to get in where I can see, okay, this is how they're breaking the chart down for the week. These are things you're looking at, things like that. That way I can kind of mimic their routine per se. And that's what they had available. They had free sessions. It was every Sunday night at 8 p.m. And they were like extremely consistent, especially for the fact that they're doing it for free. I mean, it's free content out there that they're putting out there.
Right.
So I started following them. I followed them for probably, it wasn't long, it was maybe a month and a half of like getting on every week. And then I looked into their course, and then they came up with a promo. I think it was probably sometime back in January. And I saw it come up. I was like, okay, like this is it. This is the last one I'm going to need. I'm going to try them out and see what happens. And just the value from everything that they offered through the program itself, just in its totality, was well worth the investment, I think.
Yeah. Right. So if you will go back, how was the trading before you joined? You said you watched a thousand videos on YouTube. Did you
Mhm.
come up with some strategy? Did you trade on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
own? How was it?
yeah. I'd worked on some things, but I feel like I got caught into that common trap with traders where if you don't understand like probabilities and risk management and psychology, you think that there's some holy grail out there that you're going to find and you're going to win every trade and you're going to be rich and drive Lambos and things like that in a matter of like 6 months. And that's not the case, obviously. So as I was working through, I developed my own strategy. And it's funny because I've gone through many things and I'm actually right back at my initial strategy now. I just know other things to look at in addition to it. But most of my trading, I trade off of pivot points and Fibonacci retracements. That's the main thing. I focus a lot on the high and the low of the day and the week. And those are things that I've just kind of added on. I probably have like 10 to 15 people's different strategies and things like all
Mm.
wrapped up into
Yeah,
one bundle now that just fits me. So
right. So let's talk about the membership and the course itself. How was it for you when you join it and when you see the content, what is included?
mhm.
How was it? Was it easy for you to understand? How was the format?
Yeah, the format was excellent, very clean and structured. So you're focusing on particular things and then you're locking it in per se, and then you're adding another layer to it. I like the pace of it. I can only speak for myself though, because I had already been trading and I'd already taken other courses. But someone coming in with no knowledge at all, I believe, could pick up the course and get an excellent understanding of what to do and work towards being a profitable trader.
Right. So have you done some one-on-one calls with Nick?
Yeah. So for me, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead or anything, but like the true value in the course itself, it's not just the course, but it's the accessibility. And that was one of the key like selling features for me was, they showed you got the trade copier and you got signals and you've got all these other things, but that wasn't really what I was looking for. But when I saw the, hey, free one-on-one sessions, I was like, okay, this is what I need. I need to be able to come to Zoom or wherever, with my charts, me and one other person, actually be able to tell them what I'm doing and they can tell me what they think from their experience. And then hopefully that would give me some type of unusual acceleration as far as gaining knowledge. And
Yeah,
that's absolutely what it did for me. I've been getting on the one-on-ones since probably, probably since February.
yeah, right.
So 8, 9, 10 months now with Angelo and Nick. It was more Angelo in the beginning. And honestly, I think the one-on-ones probably saved me from quitting trading, because Angelo will tell you, we were on a call in March and I was just like done. I was just losing streak, couldn't get my mind right, couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. He just told me to take a step back. He told me to take 2 weeks off. I took a month and a half off. And the whole time I just studied psychology. And then I realized, like, okay, like you can learn all the chart work you want, all the technicals, indicators, anything you add to your strategy. Once you get to a certain point, you kind of plateau and you need the other side of it. But a lot of people don't make it far enough to get there because they lose so much money that by the time they realize they need the psychology portion of it, they've already depleted their funds.
So what was the breaking point for you? What makes you decide, okay, let's try it again? Or what was happening in your mind at the time?
So you mean during and after the break?
Yes.
Okay, so I took off. I didn't look at charts at all. I didn't even follow the price at all. I took a step back. I started reading a few books. I don't remember the names of any specific ones right now, but there's a lot of good books out there, and they don't teach you strategy. They teach you like ways to think.
Right.
So one of the key things that I found was you have to understand what triggers you personally, emotionally. And like we talked about on League Talks the other night, like risk management was it for me. Like I would take a big loss and I wouldn't know what to do after. And it's like that big loss would carry over to the next one, but you got to understand that every trade is completely independent as
Right.
far as the results. So that bad feeling I have from the first trade of the day shouldn't affect how I perform on trades 2, 3, 4, or whatever it is.
Right. Yeah. That's good. And then you just keep carrying on and didn't quit. And
Mm-hmm.
now you are funded that we will get into that. You said you purchased more courses. So if could you compare the content of the courses you purchased
Mm-hmm.
before and course that Forex League offers?
Yeah. So the first course I took was very basic, but it was extremely effective. For a beginner, it was great for me, but it left a lot to find out, or a lot to figure out, particularly around like strategy and things. Because the first course I took was, the trader was a much slower paced trader. Like he wasn't trading intraday like I am. He was trading swing trading. He traded off the daily chart. So although there's moves to catch there, that trading style didn't really fit mine. I'm more of a frequency trader. I trade more frequently with smaller positions and I get in and I get out. I don't like to leave risk on. So the swing trading off of the daily chart for 3 days to 3 weeks to, whatever time frame,
Yeah.
you decide to leave the trade running, I started realizing that I'm not very good at this. And if I trade this way, it's going to take me a lot of time to get screen time in the market, and really understand what's going on. So with that, like I said, it was a great strategy and whatnot, and the strategy works in all time frames. But when it came to questioning Okay, what should I do on the 1 hour chart? There was no resource available, or on the 4 hour chart, even because they were watching on the daily and then trading on the 4 hour.
Mm.
So I'm more of a break it down from the daily, break it down from the 8 hour, look at the 4 hour, 2 hour, and then I'm trading 1 hour in less intervals. So, like I said, it gave me the structure I needed, and I understood market structure and all those things, but it didn't give me the real time information I needed. Because I'm the type of person, if I get in a trade, I can't sit in a trade for 3 days to lose or 3 weeks to lose. Like that
Yeah.
doesn't sit well with me. I'd rather get in and know within a couple hours, or sometimes even within a couple of minutes, okay, maybe this was a bad entry. Let me get out of here and I'll reevaluate and come back with minimal damage. And I'm still getting those reps in, per se.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The second course, it expanded on what I already knew. I think this course is actually better overall for people because they incorporated different time frames. But this course was lacking the support as
Mm.
far as like the mentorship portion of it. So like the first course I had, you get on once a week, and it was a group on once a week. The second course that I took, there was no live sessions per se. So with that, I was like, okay, I learned some more, and now I've kind of honed my skills to like bump down time frames because everybody wants to day trade to start, but I don't think it's smart to try and day trade until you can understand it at the the bigger scope. So when you get locked in on the daily and then you figure out the movements on the 4 hour, then you can kind of start to understand things. And when you start understanding how to read candlesticks, you can see, okay, that this engulfing candle on this time frame is a break of structure on that time frame, and things like that. And you can kind of correlate it and bounce back and forth, and then you can see more of what's actually happening, and be more decisive in your trades.
Mm.
But like I said, the second course didn't offer any like live support, I'll call it. And there was promise of doing live sessions, and they were all during like late Asian session, early European session, which wasn't good for me because I'm on the East Coast in the US. So they all the live sessions were between like midnight and 3 in the morning. So
Mm.
I wasn't available for those, of course. So after that, I didn't think I needed any more courses. And then I was poking around and watching videos and stuff. And then I came across Nick and Angelo on YouTube. I actually found what I found was an older video that just kind of popped up in my watch list or whatever. And I watched and I was like, hold on a second. So let me go. And I checked out the website and I looked at the course. And then I downloaded the Discord, the free Discord. And then I kept getting the notifications like, hey, we're live on Sunday. We're live on Sunday. And then for a while they were doing some other sessions too that were free. I started jumping on those. I'm like, okay, these guys are actually going through. And it was good for me because I knew what they were talking about, and just listening to them over and over, talking
Right.
about the higher highs and the higher lows and marking off structure and looking at supply and demand zones and all those things. Just seeing it over and over and seeing somebody else do it the right way versus me doing it, and questioning,
Mm.
am I doing this right? And then going to ask somebody who can't really answer my question because they don't do things the way I do it. So that was really great for me. And then when I started watching them, I was able to kind of reverse engineer what they were doing and implement it into what I was doing as well, and kind of transform a bit. So yeah, after a few weeks of watching them live on Sunday nights, I was like, okay, like I think I want to take the plunge and get the course. And I saw the price and I kind of balked at it a little bit because I'd already bought and purchased 2 courses in the past 6 months. I was like, I'm just going to hold off a little bit. I'm just keep going to the lives, the free stuff, chat to people in the community, see what's going on there. And then they came out with a promotion a few weeks after I started watching. I was like, okay, this is it. So I jumped on board, and it was really good because even before I had committed and I put in my PayPal account to buy the membership, I was able to schedule a talk. And I talked to Angela before I even purchased. It was like,
Right.
hey, like,
Yeah.
this is where I'm at. This is what I'm looking to learn. Like, do you guys think you have something that that'll be helpful to me, of value? And he was very candid and honest, and he just told me straight up, like, hey, this is what we do. We do these sessions, we do this. This is how we trade. These are some of the people that have come through us. These are the people that we've learned from, to even give some more credibility, because there's a lot of people out there that are teaching courses that have no experience or they haven't learned from anybody. So, I mean, although I feel like that's a good thing for where I was, I didn't want to go to a course that I knew more
You're
than
nothing.
the person that was giving the course exactly. So with that, I was like, okay, these guys are legit. I'm gonna take the plunge. And
Right. This is what we are trying to do actually. We're trying to be like, transparent, and we still do the call. So I do the course right now,
Hmm.
Angelo. So yeah, I do that almost, every week. I have some call,
Hmm.
some person who is interested into joining us. I can show him the course, what's included. He can he can share
Hmm.
his experience, where he is.
Right.
So the thing is, as we are offering the free funding now, anyone can actually join us. If that is beginner, we can teach him how to
Hmm.
trade, and then later on he can get funded. Or even people who already trading, experienced traders, they can join and take advantage of the free funding. Plus, they get another benefits of the membership.
Yeah, it's great because, as you know, like in the industry, there's a lot of things that shouldn't be happening, and it's
Yeah, I
kind of
mean it's
given like the
right. Yeah,
whole forex scene a bad look.
yeah,
And just
exactly.
being able to talk to somebody before you buy something is like, okay, these guys are actually backing their product versus a bot with a recorded video where you
Yeah,
sign up for a webinar and it's a recorded webinar playing over and over. Getting on with somebody live and just discussing where you are and where they think they can take you is
right.
excellent.
And that's another reason why we come up with idea to do these interviews, because it's just much better than Trustpilot text, and you don't know, is it
Right.
the real person, or so these interviews will gives you really the different feeling and different idea
Hmm.
behind what's going on there. Yeah, and yeah, so as you said about mentoring, and being, have access to someone, some mentor. This is very
Hmm.
crucial, right? If you want to learn trading or any kind of stuff, you really want to have mentor, someone who will teach you, any kind of skill. You really need
Hmm.
trainer or mentor who will teach you, hey, do this is wrong, do this, and
Right.
correct your mistakes. So that's why we are trying to be really, say, like, interactive with the members, right? So
Hmm.
member can schedule the one-on-one call with Nick, and now we start to do the webinars twice a week, where members can go together, right, and talk. What is the issues I'm struggling with, that talking about experience and learn from
Hmm.
each other. This is very crucial for me. When I started as a lifetime member, I was posting my analysis in the chat all the time and getting feedback from others, experience, not,
Hmm.
of course, you can't listen to everyone because everyone has different experience, but at
Right.
least it gives you idea. Someone can say, "Oh yeah, I have the same idea as you," or look at this. So sometimes they correct you because I overlook something. So
Hmm.
the feedback to get on your performance is really really important. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And also, when it comes to support itself, so I'm being online all the time for the Discord, right? So
Hmm.
I'm having a discussion every day. I'm replying questions for members, or yeah, I'm in the chat all the time, so anyone can always reach me out, and I'm replying kind of instantly. Cool. So after you finished the whole course, what was your next step? Did you do some backtesting, journaling?
So I tried journaling, and when I did try it, I didn't have the discipline to stick with it. And it was partially because of the way that I trade, like my frequency of trading, and the way I enter and scale into and out of positions makes it hard to simulate or track manually.
Hmm.
So like when I'm trading now, like I go back and I look at the like the statements or whatever, and it tells you, hey, this traded this time and this profit loss. Like I review those types of things. But as far as like journaling, how I felt during the trade, things like that, I did it for a little while and it helped, but I don't do it anymore. And the same thing with back testing. I back tested a lot, like really heavy over the summer. Every weekend I would spend a few hours on particular pairs, and that was part of my screening process to figure out what I wanted to trade, because at one point I was trying to trade like the whole forex market. I had like 20 pairs on my watch list. I didn't know any better. And then through back testing and then just regular trading, like I learned over time, like, okay, I have no business trading AU. I have no business trading NU. Certain pairs,
You
I
can find your.
learned that they weren't for me. Yeah. And then like the Swiss franc pairs, I know, okay, they don't move fast enough for me. I'm not going to trade those. And then I kind of narrowed it down, and I worked it down from like 20 something to like 10. And I wasn't trading all of them, but I was looking at them. I know, and it was really confusing at times too.
Hmm.
But as I worked it down, I worked it down to 10, and then it got down to like 6. And now I have 4 things that I pair, and then or 4 things that I trade, and then a fifth one that I look at, which is the dollar index. But as far as like backtesting helped me, one, solidify my strategy and just help me identify things happening in motion. That way, when I start seeing them happening in motion in the live market, I can, okay, I remember seeing this last time this happened, you know, and that there helps you get that unusual acceleration. Like I was saying before too, is where you start seeing things a lot faster. You're getting your reps in quicker. You're able to identify things in real time, and you can actually make adjustments to your strategy and your plan that are beneficial long term.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
backtest anymore. I feel like it's more of a, when I switch strategies or when I implement something new to it, I'll do it. But like I said before, the way I trade now versus the way I backtested, it's not really beneficial except when I'm trying to, try something new,
Right.
just to,
Yeah.
to get an idea about it.
Right. Yeah, I think backtesting is something underestimated a lot. Not many people do that at the beginning, but
Hmm.
it's really a key, you know.
Yeah.
I can relate it. I can relate to what you said. It's I did the same. So I started a new strategy that we are offering in a course, the intraday, the VWAP,
Hmm.
and I
Yeah.
did the same thing. I was backtesting for 3 months in a row. 3 months. I took like I just counted like almost 1,000 trades in the backtesting,
Oh
right?
yeah.
You have
Easily.
yeah, and you have just a lot of data to compare setups, what works for
Hmm.
you, what doesn't work, and it gives you so many information about the way you trade, what works,
Hmm.
strategy. And yeah, so I am at the same point as you are, so I don't feel like I need to do backtesting anymore. Is most about like a risk management and the psychology
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
So I think like we have the tool, right, that we get from
Hmm.
testing. Now we are having strategy, and now next stage, psychology and risk
Yeah.
management,
Yeah,
which
it's just another transitional
yeah,
tool in your development.
yeah,
There's things that you'll use for a while and they're almost like training wheels. Like
right,
backtesting was huge for me, like when I was learning to read candlesticks, because like there's all these indicators out there and everybody gets caught up on the indicators, but nobody wants to learn how to read the candles. Like if you don't know
yeah,
how to know the open, high, low, and close, you can't do anything,
yeah,
So it's one of those transitional tools. You just put it on for a while and you use it, and then as you start to understand it better, you kind of shed things off of your chart because like when you look at my chart, I don't have anything on my chart now. Like I don't have any indicators except the RSI.
yeah,
I trade a little bit of divergence, support, resistance, and that's it. Just structure. Because
yeah,
you start putting too much stuff on there and you start getting crossed up, and one thing's going up, something else is going down, and or you start relying too heavily on indicators. That was another thing that I was running into as far as problems is I would try something new. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this EMA strategy. And I tried it and I wouldn't look at anything but the line running through the bars. And
yeah.
then I was like, okay,
The
well, I'm gonna
same.
try ESI and RSI. And every time it went oversold, I would try and buy it. And it's like, no, you have to use this in conjunction with something else just as a confirmation. You can't take it as a signal.
Right. Yeah, that's what I did when I was backtesting the 3 months. I was always come up with something. Just I wanted to like combine the strategy with something else to make another confirmation. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
adjust it like 3 times, three different things. I used the Mac or few indicators, and it just doesn't work. So I just used the purely the divergence and
Mm-hmm.
VWAP, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's move on. I know you get funded now, and you have multiple challenges running now. If you could talk about that.
Yeah. So I'll backtrack a little bit. When when Angela told me to take that break, when I came back, I was trading live before that for 6 months, and I somehow managed to not blow up any account. So I had one account the whole time.
All right. Nice.
And I didn't lose a ton. I lost like 10% on it, which wasn't much considering I was clueless as far as like the market, the Forex market, lot size and stuff like that. But I was working to figure it out. When I came back in, I guess it was late April, early May, I was still doing the one-on-ones. And the main piece of homework I have was withdraw the money from your live account, trade demo, and just figure out what you're doing until you can get funded, because there's no point in giving the market money because you're eager to make
Yeah.
money.
Right.
I think that's the biggest problem a lot of people have is they see these screenshots on the internet. It's like, oh man, they made 10 grand in a day.
But no one
And
shared the
you think,
losses.
right, but they don't share the losses. Yeah, all you see is these blue spots on the MetaTrader 5. You don't see anything red.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like 90% of traders are losing, but everybody on the internet's winning. So something doesn't line up. But yeah, I came back, I just started trading demo accounts, just like simulation of like challenge practice. So just focusing on my risk management, focusing on not hitting drawdown limits, not over trading, incorporating psychology into all of this. And then over time, I took a challenge with another prop firm back in sometime in the summer. It was a 100K challenge. I actually passed it, phase one and phase two, but it wasn't, I guess, a legitimate prop firm, and they never gave me an account. So I just kind of
Okay.
was up creek. So from there, a few months later, Funded Trader came out. I was like, okay, like these guys, I'm willing to go with them because they've already gotten me this far. Like, why not keep going? Like, and it's been funny because like as I've been here, I've seen the whole community evolve from just a course into
Yeah, right.
like everything. Like there's a community, there's a course, there's signals, there's a trade copier, there's one-on-ones. Now there's league talks. Now there's funding. So I mean, like you can get everything you need right here. You don't need to ride around the internet looking for different things. They've got a good structure here and a good platform. So when they introduced their trading prop firm, I was like, okay, this is it. So I just kept trading, and then I remember one week I was on with Nick because I get on with him probably once or twice a month, and he was seeing my progress, and he just kept encouraging me to focus on these things, do things a certain way, and just develop a regimen for myself. He said, just keep trading. I'm gonna stick with you till you get funded. Like literally, that's what he told me, and that's what he did. We've been talking about my trades, talking about my setups, how my strategy is evolving, what I do similar to him, what's different, and I feel like we've been able to teach each other things because I've been studying so hard that I'm finding out things that he may have overlooked or things that he may have not have cared
Yeah,
to
it
look
sounds
at,
like,
and then and then it's the same way he gives me stuff that would take me 4 or 5 years to figure out because he's been trading 7 years. I've been trading a year and a half. It's like, okay, like you can help me figure things out a lot quicker. So with that, I just kept trading and trading and trading. I failed accounts. I had a 50K account that I failed. I failed a 100K account. I failed a 200K account. Don't ask me why I kept going larger in size as I failed. That made no sense. But I actually ended up coming back to doing a 50K account. And these are all ones that I purchased. Like I bought these accounts. And then they started doing the free challenges as well. And I started doing the free challenges. And it was really hard for me at the beginning because the free challenge, I looked at it completely different than the one I paid for.
Right.
So the free challenge, I would go on and I'm loading up lots. I'm doing all types of things that are outside my strategy. And inevitably, I would blow it every time. I'm thinking, oh, I'm just going to get one good trade and I'll pass the challenge. So it doesn't work that way. Because if you get it that way, you're going to give it back the same way. So over time, I realized, okay, like I need to trade this. I called it a burner account, like a burner cell phone back in the day, I said, this is my burner account. And I would trade it like that, literally, like I'd use it and I'd throw it away. And then I realized, like, hold on a second, there's value here. Like if I can use this to help me get better at what I'm paying for and keep it all tied together, I can figure out how to get funded and I can figure out how to be consistent and then eventually be profitable and make some money trading. But the free challenge, the last one I took for this month, I actually passed that one. At the same time, I was working on a 50K. So I guess my timeline is I had a 50K I paid for, failed, 100K paid for, failed, 200K paid for, failed. And then I passed a 50K that I paid for last week, a week before last. So I passed that in 31 days. That was like the hardest thing ever. And I feel like that was like my test to like, okay, like if you can do this, this is it. I never hit max drawdown on any of the days. Didn't go too far in the red. I think I dipped down to maybe 48,000 as far as equity. And then I ended up working it back up to 55. And I made a large portion of it in like the last 3 trading days because I was coming down the stretch and I knew, okay, I'm at like day 28 and I've got the weekend coming up. So I was planning in my mind, I was like, okay, I need to do like 1,500 every day this week to make it. So I scaled up my size a little bit. I was more aggressive than I usually am, just to power through. I ended up hitting it on day 31, which was a Friday. Day 32 and 33 would have been the weekend. I would have had until I think Monday or Tuesday morning to pass. And I don't usually trade well on Monday. So I was like, okay, it's now or never. And I think that was actually NFP Friday that I finished that challenge. With that one, I got picked phase 2. I said I was going to take my time on it because I had 60 days of extra time. I was on a cruise, just refine my strategy and focus on what I'm doing. I got on it a couple of random times because the last 2 weeks I've been trading 3 accounts. So I didn't even touch that one. I had that account for probably a week before I even touched it. I was like, okay, I'll just get to it when I get to it. So in the middle of this, I was trading 100K, which I drew down all the way to 88,500. Like I was 11.5% drawdown.
Almost
I,
failed.
I yeah, I was right there. And in my mind, I had already failed. Like when I was at like 94,000, it didn't help. And I just kept going down and down and down. And I realized I was like, there's a book I've been reading. And the guy said in the book, he said, we often suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality. And so I realized, I was like, hold on a second, I haven't failed this challenge yet. Like that's future. Like I have failed in the past, but that has nothing to do with this. I could fail in the future, but that has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. And after that drawdown, I was able to bring that account back to 100,100 last week. So I got it back to break even, at least for the holidays. So possibly I can get a retry on that one if I don't make it all the way to 10%. So I've got that one that's in progress now. That phase two, I said I was doing, I ended up getting on that in lieu of the other one that I had drawn down. And I was just, slow and steady trading. I ended up passing phase two on that last week. So I got an email. I should be getting my funded account probably sometime tonight, like London session. So I'll sit on that. And since there's no like time frame on it, like I can just trade it freely and like no stress. Just okay, when I feel like trading it, I'll trade it. And otherwise I'll just keep
Take it
trying to
easy.
get other challenges. So yeah, I just got funded on the 50K that I paid for. I'm pretty much break even on phase one on 100K. And then I just passed the free December one. So I also have a 50K. I just kind of tucked away until I get done dealing with these other things, and then I'll try that one too and see if I can get funded on that. And then January 1st, I'm going to sign up for the free challenge monthly one, and I might have another one behind that. So at this point, I don't see any reason to buy any more challenges. I mean, I've given the market enough
Yeah,
money.
right. Right. So let's talk about the risk management, because I think you had to put some rules there, because there
Yeah.
was some like a break even for you, right? When you start
Mm-hmm.
following the rules. So how is the risk management for you? How is it important
So
for you?
the risk management is king, and it's something else that I forgot to mention about this course. This was the first course that I took, and I guess the way I should put it is the first course that I took, and they were actually promoting it as treating trading like a business. So when you look at it that way, it's a little bit different than the other courses I've taken, because they were just kind of like, oh, I drive a Lambo, and it's like, oh, make some extra money to feed your family type stuff. But it was never okay, like treated like a business. It was more like personal pleasure, personal gain, personal, like actual things you need in life, not treated like a business. And this can be what you do. So with that said, I guess really the hardest thing for a lot of people is the risk management and psychology. I discovered through a number of like trading psychology books that I read and courses. The biggest thing for me was that I had to shift my perspective of wins and losses to something that was more process oriented, because I would take a loss and I would take it personal. I would feel like I did something wrong, because we all know that sometimes good setups just fail. I mean, it happens, but I wouldn't take it that way. I was like, oh, I did this wrong. What can I do? And then I ended up chasing all these things that I shouldn't be doing. Trying to fix things that weren't broken. So with that, I ended up learning that I need to focus on the process of trading and
Yeah.
not the results of trading. So with that, I kind of started looking at not wins and losses, but did I follow my strategy and my rules, or did I not follow them? So a
Money
good
to follow.
trade, yeah, yeah. So I can lose on a good trade, and I can win on a bad trade. So sometimes you can get rewarded for bad behavior, just like you can not get rewarded for good behavior. So when you look at it that way, it's like, okay, I just need to stick to my rules and do my thing and not be distracted.
Yeah.
Um, and that was a really game changer for me. And then also I realized over time that you have to figure out what really triggers you to be emotional when you're trading. Because you have to be emotionless while you're trading. You have to trade more like a robot, I like
Yeah.
to say. But
Definitely.
it's hard to detach from it. So I guess an example would be like, okay, you come into the market and you're trying to quit your job, and you want to quit your job, and it's like every time you win a trade, it's like, oh man, I'm going to be free. I'm going to do these things. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, you lose a trade, and it's like you're losing your dream. It's like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do what I want to do. Why am I so terrible? And that's when the self-sabotage and all those other things start to creep
Mm,
in. So you got to understand what triggers you mentally to move into those self-sabotaging areas. So I focused on the process. And then the other thing was what triggers me. So I know that if I take a big loss, I'm instantly going to go into tilt. And if anybody doesn't know, tilt is like that poker term where basically you just start doing crazy stuff because you're frustrated, you're losing,
mm,
you're just kind of like at your wits end and you're just in the game just to play. But yeah, I understood that if I took $1,000 loss or a $500 loss, I'm going into tilt and I'm going to try and get it back with the next trade. I'm going to double up a lot size. I'm going to add to a losing position. I'm going to do all those wrong things.
mm,
And so I had to build things into my strategy that keep me from entering tilt. So if I can stay out of tilt, I'm good because I know that I can trade. And that's another thing is you have to develop the confidence in yourself. Like I know that I'm a good trader. It's just I'm also the same person that'll take me out of the game too. So just as well
yeah.
as I can do, I can win 8 trades in a row and be up $2,000, and then I get greedy or overconfident or whatever it is, lazy, take a bad trade and give it all back, and that's more demoralizing than anything else. Like I don't think anybody should ever put themselves in that situation to give up that much hard work that
Mm,
quickly, because it's only going to lead to more. You know,
yeah.
so really with that, as far as risk management, my basis is I trade small positions over a short period of time. So I trade like the 1 hour and the 15-minute chart New York session. When I load up positions, my positions are like fixed lot sizes. And they're really small. So I trade two pairs and two indices. On the pairs, GJ, I trade a 0.44, and a lot of people are like on a 50K account. I'm like, yeah, on a 50K account, I trade a
Mm,
0.44 on GJ and I trade a 0.48 on UCAD. On US 30 and NASDAQ, I trade a 0.04 on both of those. And all these work out to being about $4 a pip. At $4 a pip, I can afford a 32 pip stop loss on any of my pairs. So I don't have to think about any of this. If I can enter with a 32 pip stop loss, I'm
mm,
going in. I don't have to think about it. And that 32 pip stop loss on the $4 a pip is $125 position. So rather than loading up bigger lots and seeing bigger numbers, I load up smaller lots and I have a bunch of smaller numbers running.
mm,
And it's easier for me to manage because so like I'm trading a 50K account, max drawdown daily is $3,000. The way I trade with these $125 positions, I can lose 12 trades in a day, like 12 trades in a day, full on stop loss hits
right.
and only be down 1,500. I'm still in the game. At
Mm,
that point, hopefully I'll realize, okay, this isn't my day. I'll leave and then I can come back the next day and still have a chance of recovering. Because if I had on 3 positions and I lost $500 each, that would hit me a little bit harder.
yeah. Right.
But because I'm loading up small positions and I stack them too, so I'm not just running one of each. Like Friday, I had 5.04s on NASDAQ running. And I actually had to run against me one time. And when it ran against me, I had all these $125 positions for my multiple entries. And as they started increasing in the loss, if it got to 100 to $125, I just cut it. Like I don't even think about it. I just hit X, I'm out. Um,
Yeah, that's good.
and if the
It's
other
good
ones
to
keep
have a
doing the same
discipline there.
thing, yeah, yeah, and if they keep running against me, I just cut them. And like in max loss, like I had 5 positions on. I lost like $350 on NASDAQ.
Mm,
But when I came back on the next trade, I made it all back plus some. So it's like, you just got to keep yourself in the game long enough for your edge to play out.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
most people are good traders, genuinely. Most people can trade well, they can make good decisions. But if they don't control their emotions and themselves, they'll
mm,
take themselves out of the game before the market even
yeah.
has a
It's like a
chance to.
two sides.
Yeah, yeah, there's two sides, and you got the whole market, and you got all these other traders and market makers and everything else out here trying to beat you. Like you can't beat yourself.
Yeah,
You have to put yourself in the best position possible to go up against the world.
right. This is a good lesson for the beginners who are listening. Is a good example that you don't need a big lot sizes in order to make money, right? Because this is a like a
Mhm.
longer term like game for long
Right.
term, right? So it's nothing like make money in a short time, but just keep growing the account for the long term. That's the
Hmm.
whole purpose of being funded, right? Uh,
Yeah.
the challenges can be challenge, but I think the game started when you get funded actually, because you have to keep the account and the psychology kick in much more, right? So
Yeah. Absolutely.
that's when
Anybody
it
can get the
starts.
account. The hard part is keeping it.
Yeah, exactly. So there are many people who blowing the account, losing the account in within a week, 2 weeks, and that's a good thing about the membership. If that happens, the members can purchase or try not purchase but try another free trial in the next month for free.
Yeah.
So that's a
Yeah.
good.
And the other thing, all three of my accounts the ones I purchased, I use the lifetime member discount. I don't know if that's going to be continuing or not. But if you want
Yeah,
something
yeah,
other
right,
than a
correct.
50K account, like you can get money off of a 100K, off of a 200K if you want a bigger one too. But I mean,
Yeah,
for
right.
people that are coming in as a beginner, like just go for the free one.
Yeah.
I mean, even advanced people, just go for the free one. If you want something bigger later, you got a discount on it. But
Yeah. Just keep it go for free. Well,
yeah,
yeah, you can do a withdraw and then purchase the bigger account. Why not, right?
right.
You
Yeah.
have a 15% discount for the challenges as a member. That's a good benefit, I think, too.
Yeah.
So how the course affects your performance on the challenges? If there is
Uh,
something that it helps you to pass it and keep it going.
it's really the treating trading like a business thing, because like you've seen my risk management chart, and like I'm not going to say it's advanced, but it's more than what anybody would give you. It's something that you have to build for yourself and the pairs that you trade and the way that the way that you trade. Like I could put my sheet up there for anybody, but they wouldn't know what to do with it because they don't trade the pairs I trade. They don't trade the way
Yeah.
I trade. So if you can put something together for yourself, anybody, and just understand, a lot of people say 2% risk management. I always thought that was too much. But if you can figure out what you can stomach personally, because I know there's people out there that trade 2% all day long and they're fine.
Yeah.
But me, I can't put on 2% at once. Not on one position anyway. I can chop it up, but I know what works for me. And
Mm.
that's the biggest thing in the course, is that you have freedom to develop your own methods until you're successful, and everybody's open to it and they're willing to help you learn, even if they don't know what you know, because they're interested in
Yeah.
getting better at trading themselves.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why the reason why the webinars are so beneficial, right? The beginners can talk to traders as you, who are funded, who has a strategy, and they can help with the risk management, right? So I'm
Yeah.
really appreciate your effort and help in the webinars, because we are keep going right every week
Yeah.
and keep sharing and helping the others. That's the value we can give to the new members. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah, it keeps everybody sharp, because our knowledge is no good if we don't share it. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And as you said, right, Nick, he has been trading 7 years and he
mhm.
has so much knowledge that he can give you, so you don't have to spend the 7 years as he did
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah,
uh
that's that unusual
that's
acceleration right there.
Yeah, so it's difficult for people who purchase the membership and they just sometimes I feel like they are working under the table, for themselves, and they don't really
Mhm.
share, ask questions, schedule the calls, join the webinars, and that's difficult for them to grow. So
Yeah,
I
it is.
I keep mentioning schedule the calls, join the webinars, share, ask me questions. I'm on the chat all the time. There is a members chats that they can get the feedback from other members, right? So
Yeah.
that's how you grow. That's how it helps
Hmm.
you, because other people has different perspective, different experience. So it's about to share it and
Absolutely.
learn from each other. Right. So let's move on. What is your next plans?
So my next plans is just keep trading and keep getting funded accounts, start some businesses with money I can make, and just keep going, because I like trading. I mean, I
Right.
really enjoy it.
Hmm.
And if it's that's another thing about trading, is you can't try and trade because you want to make money. Just like you can't go get a particular job just because it pays a certain amount. Like you got to do
Yeah.
something that you actually like doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like trading. I like being in the market. Um, I like following price. I like charting. And then more importantly, like I just like the community of people that come with it. So just being out there, engaging with other people, seeing what other people think, what they know, just getting better, just sharpening your tools.
Right. Yeah, I think it's difficult for people who doesn't have any community because they don't usually have someone around them to talk to and discuss these all things,
Yeah.
right? So that's another benefits really to be in a community, be interactive with each other. So you can talk to them. I don't have any other friends around me that I know who tradings that I can talk to them about trading. They will be like, oh, what are you
Mhm.
talking about, right?
Yeah,
So it's good to have the community and people around. That's crucial. Yeah. Okay, so what would be the your message for people who are thinking to join membership?
I think that there's something here for everybody. And if you're questioning it, I would just take the leap, honestly, because me personally, and I'm not guaranteeing anybody's going to get any of the things that I've gotten, because there were,
Right.
things have
Thank
happened
you,
over the
God.
course of time. But I feel like I owe Nick and Angela money sometimes. I'm like, dude, like I've been on, I don't know how many one-on-ones with you guys. Like, how much would somebody charge you to be on one with them one-on-one for an hour? An
Yeah,
expert. So I
yeah,
mean, between the one-on-one session and the lifetime access to the course, obviously, and then I'm gonna mention a couple of things that I don't use currently, like the trade copier. I mean, that's a value in itself. I don't use it, but it's there. I probably should.
yeah. I use it. I
Um,
use it. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. And then the signals I used for a little while. I didn't use them to try and trade. I used them to kind of like for educational purposes to,
yeah,
reverse engineer, like, okay, what are these guys saying that they're entering here, putting their stops here and putting their take profit here. So that was helpful. Um, what else? One-on-ones,
free funding.
trade copier. Yeah, the funding in itself, the free challenges.
Yeah,
I mean, one free challenge or two free challenges is like the price of the course sometimes. So you got
yeah, right.
those. Yeah. You got the Discord, which I don't even think we really mentioned the community there with all the people there that are helpful. And then the opportunity for giveaways. I mean, over the course of the year, I think I won a 24-inch monitor. I got over in another room.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, for
Oh, nice.
giveaway. I won $25 a couple weeks ago off the profit screen, because if you're trading and you're making wins, let's post your profits, like, and get a chance. Like a meme screen, you get $25 in the meme chat. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the community keeps giving back.
yeah.
Angela sent me this hat a while back. Sent me,
Nice one.
I got a notebook somewhere too. Yeah, notebook here. I mean, there's all types
Yeah,
of stuff that, like hidden value. Like, I didn't expect to get any of these things out of it, but I've gotten funded accounts now. So I mean, like, it's a no-brainer if you're serious about it.
yeah.
Um,
That's what I'm saying. If you are serious about trading,
yeah,
just
if you're serious about it, this is a place to be. If you're
talk
not
about
serious
your.
about it, just don't bother, because it's going to take time. And that's what most people don't understand is you gotta be willing to work for it for a long time. Do sacrifice a lot of things and do a lot of hard work for a long time without getting paid for it before it actually
Yeah,
comes to fruition for you. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
college or anything else. Like college, you pay all this money and you go there for all this time, and you're not guaranteed anything, and you're not guaranteed anything here. But you're not putting a cap on yourself.
Right. And you can, even there are like private school, right? You have to pay for the education.
Yeah,
Yeah, education.
yeah, yeah. You got tuition for everything.
Yeah, right.
So you either buy the course or you give it to the market, or you buy the course and you give it to the market. I mean, but coming here and just having somebody let me know, like, hey, it's okay to trade demo until you figure it out. Like,
Right.
um, you know,
Yeah, at
just that
some
advice
point,
in itself was worth the price of the course, because I would have spent that still
right.
trying to trade and eventually quitting probably. So
Yeah, I think it's really like at some point people would have to open live account and start with a couple $100,
mhm,
right? And that is like they could blow it as usually happens, right? Most traders they just blow
right.
the first account because psychology and commission spreads they can change the game
Yeah.
for them. So instead of like putting in a live account, just put it in education and
Yeah. Put in
learn
education.
properly
Exactly. Put in education and
during free
actually
funding.
learn.
Just don't put the money from your pocket into the risk because you can get funded for free and trade with others people's money actually, right?
Right.
And it,
That's what it's all about.
cool. Yeah. So I would wrap it up. This was amazing interview. Like really, thank you a lot for the value you were sharing. That was very educational and it's inspiring too. Yeah. When you wanted to quit after 6 months, right? And then
Yeah, it's about
keep
6 months
going
in.
and
And that's
look
what
where you
most
are
people
now.
drop from what I hear.
Yeah.
What's up?
Look where you are now, right?
Oh yeah,
You did-
exactly. It's like, what if I quit?
Yeah. What if you quit? That's just
Yeah.
yeah. It's
But
a
thanks
quick
for having me on,
decision.
man. I appreciate it.
just keep going and everyone can get to the point that they will get funded, right? And it doesn't matter if 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, just keep going and don't compare yourself to others. You know, we have all different stories and experience and life happens,
Mhm.
you know. So yeah, thank you for being here, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much and talk in Forex League.
All right, I'll see you.